So guys, the crypto markets are pumping. Altcoins are pumping significantly right now, and altcoin investors are talking about how alt season is potentially going to be happening because Q1 of 2025 has always been the target, especially with Trump going into office on the inauguration on the 20th of January. A lot of moving parts, but altcoins are pumping, and I want you guys to be focused on specific indicators because I have been anticipating these pumps, but I think something else is coming, and altcoin investors need to be aware. If you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content, intermediate trader, documenting my journey, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated around specific indicators, how liquidity moves, shifts, rotations, overall specific altcoins to focus on, and exactly the day-to-day events happening. Right now, altcoins are pumping very significantly. People are getting super bullish. A lot of validation is getting thrown out the window, and I want to give you guys a different perspective on what you need to be focused on if you're an altcoin investor. Let's jump into it. So guys, as I said, the crypto markets are pumping. Bitcoin sitting at around 97,000. Bitcoin dominance is starting to drop down. The total 2 chart is starting to wick back up. And altcoin investors are getting super bullish. They're talking about how there's specific indicators that are hitting, specific charts and candles that we have been waiting for over 4 years. There's specific predictions going around for the altcoin market cap. Around that 4 trillion is the market that everyone is wanting to see, that cap. And overall right now, just altcoin investors are getting super bullish. Ilo's talking about how right now the hot air continues to rise in 2025 with, fart coin blowing up and a lot of traditional investors wondering exactly how they need to position themselves in Q1 of 2025. Rager goes on to say, not going to be concerned until this is in the upper 90s with the fear and greed index. Why we want to focus on the fear and greed index, guys, is because people start to get super bullish. People start to make a lot of money. And whenever we start to see a ton of greed in the market, that's whenever a shift in the market is more than likely going to happen. And right now he's saying he's not going to be worried until this hits into the 90s. Right now, when I checked, the fear and greed index today was sitting at around the 60 mark. So overall right now, we are seeing a lot of green in the market, but should you be worried? I think that you should be considering, based off of whenever we start to see that greed get a little bit too high, if you want to take profits off the table, because of course we're going to start to see shifts once everyone, peaks up in sentiment. Moving on, Rager goes on to say, why so bullish? Once every 4 years, the crypto market goes extremely nuts, and mid-curving it could be catastrophic. And right now is really the time to really determine if you're super bullish or super bearish. I'm super bullish. I got a ton of allocated positions. I'm really looking forward to my portfolio blowing up. Right now, if we look at my portfolio, a lot of coins up 21%, 45%, 25%, 18%. A lot of my coins are making crazy gains, and that's how I'm already in some great profit. I'll show you guys really quick right here, but overall I'm in some great profit right now, and the markets are jumping up very significantly. But I want you guys to focus on specific indicators around Bitcoin dominance as well as the total 2 chart, because this lets us know whenever the altcoin market is peaking out, as well as whenever Bitcoin is shifting out all the liquidity, and whenever also it's squeezing out the liquidity out of altcoins. What I want you guys to focus on really quick, I covered this in previous episodes. If you're new to the channel, follow, subscribe, guys, because I keep you guys updated on specific indicators, how liquidity shifts, and hopefully get you guys to position yourselves before things happen. And what I'm trying to point to right now is the fact that look at the price action around Bitcoin dominance back in 2019 moving into 2020. We saw that gradual huge rip up and then that decrease. And right now with Bitcoin dominance throughout 2023 and 2024, we saw gradual actual progression with Bitcoin, sustainable growth. And why the price action is much more different is because we actually have fundamental, companies, countries jumping into Bitcoin. So the price action around Bitcoin is much more different than the previous cycles. So a lot of people are thinking that more than likely we've already peaked out for Bitcoin dominance, but I think that we have already seen the peak for the first peak, for that dominance. And then we're going to start crashing down before seeing an actual huge rip for Bitcoin dominance. This is really pointing to the fact that a lot of countries are looking at a Bitcoin reserve, just pretty much with the US leading that, sentiment. On top of that, we have a whole bunch of countries and companies wanting to allocate more money into Bitcoin. There's a whole bunch of stuff going to be allocating into these huge assets. And if you don't understand that and you're positioning yourself all around altcoins right now, then you're not really aware of how liquidity can shift in the market. Right now, I think that, Bitcoin dominance is going to keep on crashing. I think the total 2 chart is going to rip up, but I believe that we are going to have another correction, and I am waiting for that correction. Now, a lot of coins are creating new higher highs, higher lows. So at the end of the day, if you're trying to position yourself, of course, you want a dollar cost average whenever we are seeing dips. About a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I told you guys whenever we saw those dips, if you didn't believe, that we're going to be dipping more, you should be dollar cost averaging. I bought a few positions. I know a few of y'all bought some positions, which I'm proud of y'all. Congratulations, you bought the dip and now you're up. But now I want you guys to focus on when that potential next dip could be happening. Right now, everyone is getting super bullish around altcoins, and right now in terms of the price action around Bitcoin, CryptoCon talks about it, no cycle top in sight according to the Bitcoin power grid until a hit of 100%, which you can see on this chart at the very bottom. Once we hit that 100% mark, that's whenever we start to see a peak for Bitcoin. He goes on to say that overall, this is still only the first cycle top signal. 2025 is still primed and ready to be the best year for crypto. It always was supposed to be. Happy New Year. And the reason why I'm showing you guys this is because Bitcoin isn't even close to peaking out. That means the price action around Bitcoin isn't even there yet. So once it is there, and once people are starting to allocate, and they start to see their altcoins get squeezed, people are going to start to allocate to USDT as well as Bitcoin. Right now, we're really focused on USDT and the percentages. We want to see overall, this retest that's currently happening has us sitting at that 4% zone. But if we start to see it rip up above that 4.5 into that 4.7 to 5% zone, that's whenever we could start to actually see more of the shift begin to happen into USDT, and then from there into Bitcoin as well. But overall, guys, wiping everything to the side, that's my perspective on the markets right now. There's not too much to talk about. Overall, Bitcoin is, pumping. Bitcoin dominance is starting to crash though. Altcoins are starting to rip with that total 2 chart also showing that huge wick up. But I want to give you guys the perspective long term. Of course, we're going to be peaking out, I believe, in 2025. But when is it going to be happening? Right now, everyone is super primed up on Q1 of 2025. But I believe that more than likely, we're going to be seeing pumps, of course, for our altcoin portfolios. But we're also going to see massive dumps. And whenever those dumps happen, that's whenever you need to position yourself, start allocating into the market, because you can start to get some great discounts. But overall, guys, I want to run back through every single thing we covered today, exactly what you need to be focused on as an altcoin investor, and exactly what I am doing. Overall, like I said, the crypto markets are pumping significantly. Bitcoin sitting at around 97,000. Bitcoin dominance is kind of chopping downwards. We have been following this as well as USDT to let us know how liquidity is shifting in the markets. You can see with the total 2 chart, we are wicking up very significantly. So altcoins are pumping very, very dopely. Right now, you can see my portfolio is up significantly. There's a lot of green in the market just because right now, there's a lot of shifts. AI agents are really taking off. Q1 has been primed, for, alt season. So a lot of people are getting super bullish, allocating to the markets. New Year is starting. So there's a whole bunch of things taking place. But the perspective around Rager is really, really, key. Right now, he's not too concerned with the fear and greed index sitting at around that 70, 60, like how I was talking about today. But overall, once it starts to get into that 90s, that's whenever you want to consider taking some profits off the table and understand that a huge shift in the market is going to happen. Right now, altcoin investors are super bullish based off of how charts are setting up, specific wick patterns, based off of the 4-year chart that we've been keeping up for altcoins, and just pretty much predictions on the total market cap for altcoins. Rager goes on to say, why so bullish? Once every 4 years, the crypto markets goes extremely nuts, and mid-curving it could be catastrophic. So at the end of the day, you need to really understand how you want to position yourself. Right now, with all the green in the market, you can see with my portfolio, everything pumping. I don't think that you should be buying. I think that you should be looking for validation around a few of these assets, and then from there, allocate once you hit your validation zone. Bitcoin is still on set to hit its, tops, but right now the top signal is nowhere near in sight. This has me leading to believe that altcoins are going to pump, but then they're going to dump significantly once Bitcoin starts to get the price action and love that it actually deserves. The way you can keep up with this is by focusing on the percentages around USDT, as well as looking how the Bitcoin dominance chart is performing compared to the total 2 chart, and a few other indicators around the global liquidity, and exactly other indicators like how CryptoCon had showed, and a few other different things. But overall, wiping everything to the side, guys, what do I think you should be doing right now? Altcoins are pumping right now. I hope you're allocated. If you are, you are seeing some crazy gains gains right now. And as a result, you need to be keeping up with specific indicators, how the greed is looking in the, overall markets, so that you can understand exactly when a huge shift is going to be happening. I think altcoins are going to be pumping, but I think a dump is also imminent. And when that happens, I'm going to be allocating to the market, showing you guys which positions I'm focusing on, mainly AI coins right now, because that's the main sector in terms of utility, AI infrastructure, and AI agents. And exactly, when I plan to take profits based off of that price action around Bitcoin. But I think you need to keep all perspectives in mind, exactly when we're pumping and also when potentially we could be dumping, just so you can potentially maximize on these rotations and keep Xing your portfolio. But if you're new to my channel, go and check out the rest of my content. Intermediate trader, documenting my journey, showing you guys my wins, my losses, keeping you guys updated around specific indicators around Bitcoin, around altcoins, giving you guys the sentiment in the markets, and overall exactly how you can position yourself to make those crazy gains. I have seen this happen before throughout this whole cycle based off of the price action on previous cycles. It makes me believe that, a lot of people are, front running themselves in terms of the amount of gains that they can make, just because people are allocating super heavily to the market, not anticipating a dip. But if you're not new to the channel, you are aware of how I've been keeping up with the markets, how I like a long-term perspective on the markets, as well as a day-to-day macro lens. But keeping up with this is super key to make those crazy gains. I'm gonna keep you guys updated around specific altcoins to focus on. I want to talk about AI agents this weekend, and a few other different things in terms of the market cap, what you need to be focusing on as a beginner, and how to navigate the markets. But overall, if you're new to the channel, drop me a comment, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think of my content, my perspective on altcoins, these specific charts, and everything else in between. Other than that, though, I'll catch you guys in the next one. I drop daily content every day, so stay tuned, and I'll catch you then. Peace.